Listen, we are back. We are back. Make sure you like this video as you are coming in. Make sure you like it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What is up, y'all? It's your girl Brand New, and honey, I am back in the building. Listen, this time, honey, I caught this live, honey, of Miss Melody Cherie saying that people are not worth messing your blessings over. They're not. They're not at all. Absolutely. She got to talking about how certain people are not on, your level. They are not of the same caliber that you are. Yeah, like I say all the time, a lot of people, they do not resonate with your frequency. Different people, they have a certain frequency. Like for me, I can't be around insecure as women or men. I can't, because when they get around me, they're not going to like me. They don't like somebody that's beautiful, that's talented, that's confident, that knows who they are. Okay, whose parent, honey, did a good job. Well, I ain't give my mama a little something, but I'll give it to me, honey. Okay? I'll give it to me again, honey, when it come to Miss Chapman, honey, okay? Miss Robinson been stopped on the street, honey, for her parenting. How you doing? Shit, I forgot I was somebody mammy, but I get told, girl, I don't know what you did, but your daughter, it always start out like that, you guys. Your daughter, she's so humble. She's such a good student. I never forced academics on my daughter. I honestly just told her to pass, because I'm smart enough to know that, the school subjects, honey, they ain't schooling, honey. Okay, so yeah, do what you need to do to pass. Some of the shit can be applied to life, some of it cannot. I have yet to run into a damn triangle in 3.14. Okay? But one math term I used to live by, honey, my little nasty ass, is the distributive property in math. What you do to one side, you got to do to the other. Now, I like that, and I remember that. My mother was like, yo nasty ass. That ain't what they was talking about. I used to tell my homegirl at school, my best friend, I would be like, girl, I used the distributive property last night. She said, yo little nasty ass, whose son was you messing with, honey? Okay. Listen, I was kicking it in high school, though. I was like living life like kind of like I was in my 20s. I was just grown, you guys. And it was weird because didn't nobody challenge me on it, But yeah, I was just on. I always had like a boyfriend, a best friend. I had my set troupe. I performed with them. I didn't have to go to school all the time. Okay? Shit. We used to be out of school. We'll go out of town, stay in a nice hotel, I would meet other guys from other cities. I think we had another set troupe somewhere in Ohio is what I will say. But yeah, it just, honey, the life was life in my teenage years, honey, they was popping. It was fun. It was fun. Early 20s, got pregnant at 22, had the baby at 23. I always hated that, though. I did, because I was like, damn, I didn't really get to live. But I guess I was living fast in my teen years, that life was getting ready to slow me down and sit me down. And, I don't know. I look at my daughter and her birth as being like spiritual, and it was a call to action, a time for me to grow up and, figure out what I wanted to do with my life and the type of woman that I wanted to become. So, I guess it had, some meaning. I didn't see it like that at the time, because I was like, shit, I got some more living to do. Okay, Miss Robinson was getting it in, though. my sex life was amazing. Okay. It was amazing, honey. Miss Robinson was put on tables, fucking on rooftops. Okay, where else? Look, what else? Oh, we can't talk about that. Honey, I got some stories, honey, okay? We gonna save all that for something else. But yeah, I was living. Listen. Okay, and it's like now my life is completely like it's just so different. And it's weird because as you get older, you stop trusting people the way you once did. You were more open when you were younger. That's why so much stuff happened, in your teens and in your 20s. You were open to situations. I find as you get older, you like kind of shut down and don't trust that many people and so before I get back to Melody's live, I was just thinking like I'm about to be 40 and it's like I'm at a place in my life where I just don't want to be around anybody that's not like me. I want to be around people that are going and growing in the same direction as me. I do not want to be in any type of contact with people that are not on the same frequency as me. I want to be around people that are peaceful, that are kind, that are trustworthy. I don't want to be around any more people that are insecure, jealous, stagnant, regressive and not progressive, I just, I just want to really go into the direction of where my mothership is supposed to take me. No more deflections, distractions, unless that's what I choose at that time. But just, no more low caliber people, no more seeing the potential in people. No more ignoring, the red flags, the signs, symptoms, warnings, like no more of that for me. And, as you get older, and I would think as you approach 40, or if you, are older than 40, you realize that, time is precious, and you just want to be around your own kind, people that are your equals. So, yeah, honey, I understand where Melody is coming from. Like, I ain't got time for these devils, child. Okay, but I do have to wear and air that ass out because it's time to stop wearing a mask for certain people. Sometimes the fake good guy, he needs to be caught being the bad guy. Okay? People need to see stuff because people wear masks to get in your life, to stay in your life. Martell, he wore a mask to stay in Melody's life for as long as he did. And then he got to the point, and like they all do, they get to the point where they can't wear that nice guy mask anymore. Okay, the Chucky, the little buddy comes out, where they have to go against everything that you stand for. And they have to break you down and put you in lowest terms because that's who they are. Okay? Water always seeks its own level. And that's why he got what Ariane did, what he did, because they have the same character. I always used to wonder, like, why did certain people get married? And then as you as you get to know people, you be like, yeah, I see why those two got married. They're both insecure, immature. They both triangulate. They both are narcissists. Okay, that only care about themselves. Okay? So, yeah. Child. It's just so funny, honey, how me and how me and Miss Melody, honey, we be seeing through these demons, honey. I guess we done been through enough demons, honey. Okay. But yeah, like I said, you guys, this shit with Yolanda and her and, him trying to take all this stuff to trial, it is not that serious. For $6,000. $6,000. Okay, I can see 60, but you don't even have no real case. You're just delusional. You feel entitled, and we can't even say due to proximity because she ain't around you. You just obsessed. And that's how these toxic narcissistic demons are. As soon as you tell them no, as soon as you have boundaries and standards for your life, they get offended, and then they really have to punish you. And it's really sick, because we already saw Melody go through this with Martell. The stuff with Ariane, Latifah, it's like, damn, all these fucking people against one fucking person. You can't make this shit up. It's crazy. Melody also mentioned that not all bags are good bags. Yeah, like that bag over there with Carlos King down to the Love and Marriage Huntsville, honey. Because if you got to be going through all of that, and then all that TGIF stuff with Funky and Claudia and Al, Claudia, girl, don't do it. Don't do it. I love Funky Dineva, as a brand by himself, but I just don't know, you guys, if he's really good with working with people like that. We're going to get into some more of that, because AT2, I believe that's his name, he did a video breaking down Funky Dineva. He was on Claudia and Erica's YouTube channel, and I was like, too soon, but that damn Claudia, honey, she's looking to monetize up off of this. Because I know it was giving wedding proposal. It did. I was like, ugh, Funky Dineva, honey, he looked straight. He looked like he in love with Claudia. It was just, I don't know, y'all. It was a bit weird. It just looked like a love bomb. And, the Erica lady, she tries to get to the bottom of it, because she ain't just believing, he's recognizing Claudia's worth and she is this good person. Claudia feels like everybody throws her away. And AT2, is that his? Look, I may want to know what his damn name is, child. I believe he said that Claudia has some self-confidence issues. He broke it down so well, and I agree with him. I do. I really agree with that. But let's finish this with Melody. But yeah, I really do agree with that. He said that she sees herself as like maybe the friend of the women of Real Housewives of Atlanta, not necessarily a housewife. Because I told y'all, she didn't fit as a housewife. She didn't fit with them like that. She didn't. She was funny, and she went toe-to-toe with Nene and, some other people on the show. What was it? Portia or somebody. So she was good in that respect, but Claudia doesn't own her shit. And she's not as innocent as she thinks she is. She's one of those people where she sets herself up to fail by saying and doing certain stuff. And then when a shit blows up in her face, it's like, well, nobody ever valued me. Well, she's an Aries, so, they act like big little children, okay? That's how they fucking act, like, that's how they act, like these poor perpetual victims. They go around terrorizing everybody. I'm talking about the dark side of Aries, honey. They, they do all this negative, toxic stuff, and then it's like, it's always somebody else's fault. It's never, they put themselves, in this situation. The red flags, the signs, the symptoms and warnings, it showed otherwise. But no, I got a good heart. I just gotta prove. Just think Toya from Married to Medicine. I just gotta prove I'm on these women's levels, so I'll go into debt. I'll buy the biggest house. I'll have the biggest bag. That's why she had such a issue with Quad. When Quad divorced Dr. G, saved her money and was out here buying cars and had a nice what did she have? A townhome, and Toya had to clown that, put that down, but Quad was willing to do and able to do what Toya could never do by herself. If she didn't have Eugene, the bitch wouldn't be able to move. And I mean that literally and figuratively, because we know Toya liked to move. Okay? Remember, Anila said, honey, she needs a U-Haul collection. Yeah, because Toya can move, And that's that Aries, honey. They mind is just always got to be moving forward, on to the next thing, on to this, on. It's kind of their nature, but it still needs to be grounded, But, yeah, that's what Claudia. Did I do a birthday reading? I'm going to have to look at her birthday again. But, yeah, she's definitely an Aries. Never takes accountability or responsibility for her actions, for the little shit that she does. Because even this right here, with bringing Funky onto her platform, she's doing that because she needs the subscribers, honey. I told you Claudia can't do shit without 3 to 4 people. That's why it's not wise of her to talk so much shit about Nene when she is not Nene's equal. She likes to act like she is. Well, yeah, I was pre-housewife, but we seen, honey, what Candy did and what Kenya did. They both held on to Real Housewives of Atlanta, Miss Pre-Housewives. And look at Phaedra. Well, I got all these jobs, but bitch, we see you mainly doing reality TV, and you couldn't wait to get your ass back on Real Housewives of Atlanta. So these women, they love talking all this shit about Nene, but none of them could do, what she's doing by herself. You have to have star quality, star power. People have to feel comfortable with you. They have to feel like you are relatable. You're funny, like you're real. And the rest of them people, like Candy, if it wasn't for her family, snooze fest, like Mama Joyce, Carmen, Todd, them damn, I was gonna say them damn grandmothers, but them aunties, that's what helps her. Okay, and it's all good. It's no shade to Candy. I think Candy has did a wonderful job at monetizing her family, but not too many of them, you guys, can stand on their own. Kenya, she talk all this shit. Oh, I miss you, SAO. But you selling your goddamn clothes. You over there having a goddamn rummage sale inside the damn salon that you can't afford to pay for because you, had to put a peasant in her place. The girl ain't even on your level, but you don't know that, Kenya, because you're all about ego. You're just all about ego. Yes, Britt was wrong, and yes, y'all know I'm Team Kenya, but that was stupid as hell for Kenya to do that. Stupid. She could have got that girl in a whole nother way. Okay? But, yeah, they all claim to have so much going on, but yet, what do they all do? They run their ass back to Real Housewives of Atlanta. Because right now, Kenya, you could be movies, modeling, on magazines. It's a lot of shit you could do. But you want that housewives check. Okay? She then went on an apology tour, She ain't ever really apologized to Britt. She not really sorry. I think she want her job back. Like I said, I am on Kenya's side more than Britt. But Kenya only sorry, you guys, because she want that damn check back. All the shit she judged Nene for, she on the same shit. Okay? She the same bitch. Shout out to Tammy Roman, what she told Evelyn. You still the same bitch. Honey, Melody also says, God told me to leave that raggedy show. But she said that it's God that gives you instructions on your life and what to do in your life. kind of sounds like something towards Carlos King. I mean, it's very fitting. She didn't say his name, but one could make an inference that she was referring to Carlos King. Um, yeah, it sounds, because Carlos, in my opinion, he kind of act like he know everything. He do. He do. He knows what's best. He knows how to control people, but he can't control his damn production. And he doesn't care. And I think it's very dangerous when you don't care about what your production is doing to the people that you have chosen to hire. You know? Because when you have 2 and 3 people that quit in 1 year, that's not good. I'm sorry. That is the universe giving you some feedback. Listen. Melody talked about how darkness is attracted to the light, but at the same time, it can't stay in the light, and it can't stand the light. It can't. That's why we attract all these bad people, you know? That right there, they are attracted to the chosen ones, the people with the special talents and abilities. This could be beautiful people, you know? Anybody that has something special about them. I would like to think that we all got a little something, but survey says that's a lie. Okay, because some people have certain stuff, but they don't know what to do with it. Let's see what the people think about Melody's live. One person says Melody is at peace with her decision. People keep trying to pull her back into that mess over there at the show formerly known as Love and Marriage Huntsville. Why? For ratings. Hope they will get a reaction from her or some sign of regret about her leaving. But they won't get that ever. Another person. Stay blessed, Mel. Leave that mess over there. Yonder for Fonda. Another person says, Melody, may God continue to bless you and your family. Another person says, Melody says, God said, go girl. That's right. Get away from them demons, child. Okay, so let's get to this whole thing with Funky Dineva and Claudia Jordan. One person wrote to them while they were on live and said, love me some Funky Dineva, but where was he wrong? Claudia should be apologizing. Didn't she betray him? And Funky Dineva tells Claudia to not answer that. You know, he doesn't feel like going down that rabbit hole. Whatever has happened at Fox Soul, it happened. You know, we're all just human. You know, we all make mistakes. Hopefully we can learn from the experience. And I was just, you know, in my head, like, I call bullshit. It just, I don't know. I just feel like he sees Claudia, you know, as an opportunity. Like, because to me, if I don't need somebody, I'm not going back unless unless I really need it, right? That's why they say you don't burn bridges, but it's just like you already kind of said what you said, and to me, you can't really take it back. He keeps saying he doesn't, he didn't need the money at the time, but you're going back in a sense. And then if they were all to get back together, and something tells me nobody wants to deal with Al. I think that he is the issue. I think he's one of those so-called nice guys that seems like, yeah, he's not problematic. And yeah, it's all, because I can see Claudia's messiness, but I can also see somebody like Al hiding in plain sight, like a covert narcissist. They don't look like they would cause much trouble. They do little sly, slick, and manipulative things, like using somebody's email. Yeah, I'm gonna keep bringing it up, nigga. But, Yeah, so in a sense it's just like it's good that Doniva didn't take the bait and keep talking about it. I thought it was messy for Claudia to invite Funky to the show. um I'm kind of sick of them playing this game of, oh, well, yeah, we're going to talk about it, without an audience. Why didn't y'all do that? If it was really that important, if y'all really both had the right intentions towards each other, to me, you would already did that. You wouldn't talk about it in front of an audience and then say, oh, we're going to talk in private. Behavior reflects intention. So y'all both see each other as, some type of opportunity. But something that I noticed from Claudia, darling, is Claudia said, well, whether we work together or not. She kept saying that, which means this may not happen. I accept your apology, nigga, but you can float, float on, float on, float on. Okay? If she's smart, she'll let him float on. Because after the end of the day, he told you that he didn't need you. And that he was willing to work with Al. He kept saying that. Me and Al, good. Something tells me there's something wrong with him and Al's friendship. I don't think they as tight as they used to be. They may be cordial, but something tells me he done seen a little something from Al. There's some new development, you guys, we're not hearing about. I don't think Funky is really being transparent about why he really felt the need to apologize and make it right. With Claudia, I feel like he has ulterior motives. I do. And I don't think he's doing as good as he thought he would do by himself. I think he makes a good living, but I think he wants Claudia's opportunities. I think he's jealous that she has gotten to work with Carlos King. If Funky is so great, why didn't Carlos King invite him to be a part of his platform? That would be cute. Him, Dustin, Funky, Claudia, that would be cute. But Carlos invited Claudia, darling. And when a person sees that, it's kind of like an ex-boyfriend. He sees you still dating top niggas. He sees you still moving and shaking. He's more likely to want you back if you are single, bitter. Ain't nothing wrong with being single, but you know what I'm saying. Like if you're not moving and shaking, you're not getting out here being social. If he sees a change in you, he sees you still on your grind, prospering, and that's what Funky sees in Claudia. That's why he on his Jackson 5. I want you back. Okay, he on the Jackson 5, baby. So you guys, there are people that are accusing Funky Doniva of having an ulterior motive for extending an olive branch to Claudia. He's trying to destroy someone close to Claudia. Oh, I think it's the whole Carlos King thing, honestly. The fact that she moved over to Carlos's show with Dustin and now all of them are cool and it's positive. And what did Funky do when he was interviewed by Carlos King? He kept asking Carlos for jobs and why he can't never find a show for him or an opportunity for him. And what do you see Claudia doing? Hanging out with Carlos, on his show. He wants something that she has. I hope she knows it's not really her. I don't think it's like her. Because I think he sees her. And it's not so much that Claudia is this poor perpetual victim. She keep getting snaked because she is a snake. But she doesn't own it. She doesn't own it. She looks, like in that video, she looked genuine. She looked hurt and, happy that he wanted to work with her again and he was sorry. But hell, when I looked at this video of him, Claudia, and Erica, I still saw the shadiness because he still kind of ended up blaming her, for a lot of the stuff going wrong at TGIF. And then she was looking all confused and bewildered, like, well, this the same motherfucker that, just said that he want to work with me again. I was never really a problem. He never had a problem with me. Claudia even mentioned to him, when you left, we was all good. And then all of a sudden, it ended up being fuck Claudia. This is the thing in life. You cannot trust people that have hot and cold behavior towards you, that puts you in a poor, perpetual state of confusion. God is not the author of confusion. And I feel like that's what Funky is giving. Because he's after something else that he's not really talking about. Okay? You know how a man want to get with you? He just want to have sex, but he will pretend and wear a mask that he really wants a relationship. It's kind of like that. But he knows you want the relationship more than he does. So instead of him, not wasting your time, he would rather withhold, his real truth about the real reason of why he wants to get with you. It's kind of like that. And because Claudia has something in her, I don't know what it is, where she feels like she's never quite good enough, or she needs all these people, and she kind of do need, I'm just saying, listen, there's something going on with Claudia that accepts this behavior. Because if you didn't accept this behavior, that shit wouldn't have worked on you. It wouldn't have worked on me in front of all them people. When people do stuff like that, sometimes it can be very manipulative. That's like a man that proposes to a woman in public. He like, shit, she gotta say yes because all these damn people go be here. Shout out to the girls that said no and that didn't give a fuck who was around, okay? Look, you fuck around and find out if you want to, nigga, okay? But, yeah. It was a love bomb for me. What do you think? I also noticed Funky wasn't talking to them for long. He came in, did a little 1-2, he was out. Okay, I had a cousin that was like that, child. She would come do my hair. Okay, and I would be eating something and she would demand I cook her something. She also, would get invited to many family barbecues. And she would be the first one there and the first one to leave. Just came, got a plate. Just came. I remember one time, she came by the house. She was supposed to be doing my hair. You ain't got all the right stuff. Can I still get a plate? It's like, damn, bitch, that wasn't even why you was originally called over here, okay? But see, people are always showing you who and what they are. They're always showing you. Okay, but it's something inside of us that says this is okay. I can't see the forest for the trees. Okay? And not all people are inherently bad, but this is very hot and cold. To me, his apology should have been sooner rather than later. Okay, it definitely should have been before she got locked in with Carlos King. Because it just looks like, and he even said it, he was like, yeah, I think he said it during his apology, like, yeah, Claudia's really popular. See, what that got to do with anything? Okay, if you listen long enough, people will tell you what they really after. Yeah, she's popular and well known, and yeah, you want to be attached to that ship that you said was selling and it was taking the fuck off. It's not taking off the way you once thought that it would. There's something in his life he's disappointed with, and he feels like he can get there a lot quicker with Claudia than without. That is what I'm thinking. Oh, child, the people said it's the other side of Claudia that's the real Karen in her. Oh, call that woman a Karen. Not the other side, honey. The other side of the tracks. So shout out to AT2, that's his name. When I tell you his video was so truthful, he said it right here. He said that if they don't work together again, Funky wants nothing to do with Claudia. I stand 10 toes down with him because it's one of those things where I have a certain goal with you. And if I don't get that goal, then shit, I could take or leave you. He wants to work with her again because that's what he said within the apology. I want to work with you. And then it's all this hot and cold shit. You were never the problem. Well, and then he dragged her really bad, though. Okay? He did. Claudia, she does the same shit that he does. She doesn't see the error of her ways. She's never really clear on her intentions. Because she'll say her intention is to get everybody the most money, but then she, throws jabs and says little shit. Like this shit right here where they're online with this shit before they got on the phone, it just goes to show you that the same shit can happen again because y'all not doing this shit for the right reasons. Okay? You're just doing it for public opinion and fodder and money. Y'all should have had a real conversation behind the scenes. But all in the video, see, it's very hot and cold. All in the video, she's crying and, I feel like I'm being proposed to. How do we go from that to now? To me, I would have had that same energy with his ass in front of all them people. Like, nigga, I don't know. You kind of took me through there. You dragged me on social media, nigga. I don't know if I could forget that. Okay, but now on this live with her, Erica, and Funky, it's a different tune. So, yeah, they both represent two sides of the same coin. Okay? You see me, we see each other. Funky Dineva says he doesn't regret choosing himself over the toxic environment. I mean, we done all been there with these toxic jobs where you just have to leave and you have to protect your peace. So I think that all of them are hoping that they can get some type of TV deal. Hell, just start a damn YouTube and keep it independent. And then y'all you don't need to all be in the studio together. Hell, you can do it online. Okay? Claudia is in Dallas. Dineva is in Atlanta. Al, I don't think they should work with him. I think he's problematic. He looks opportunistic. But if you really think about it, he fits perfectly with them. See, all of them, have the same flaws. Okay? So let's see what some of these people think about this. One person says the way he drags black women, but always needs one. Aw, Bookie. Ooh, child, not dragging it. Another person says, Claudia, know your worth and move on. I don't think she knows it. Because when you keep having the same experience over and over again, I don't know. Another person says, a wise person once said, don't go back to what tried to break you. Funky tried to destroy Claudia when he left. He dogged her so bad and even tried to turn Armand against her. He and his followers were trolling her in the TGIF comments. I know because I watch the show regularly. I feel like it's good to forgive, but don't forget and move on. Claudia is doing so well right now, and Funky is seeing her blow up and wants a piece of it. Claudia should move on and don't look back. About Al, he was the sneaky instigator. And if I was Claudia, I would never work with him again. He was talking to Funky behind the scenes after he left, which is why Funky's attitude towards Claudia changed so drastically. I think Al was jealous of Claudia because he thought she was making more money, which she said she was not. She was the show's creator. If they were to reboot, I think Al should be replaced with Dustin, who was really professional and fine. I know that's right, and I love Dustin's voice, honey. Ooh, child. Dustin got a sexy voice. See, when some of you niggas have a sexy voice, it's like, ooh, child. Ooh. Oh. Look, Miss Robinson getting a little moist. Okay, I mean, I'm just saying, be to talk you out the drawers. Another person says Claudia has elevated with Erica. She simply needs to leave Funky in the past. Funky has many issues, and he has shown all of us that he can be very vindictive. Yeah, he can. I definitely... Funky does not want to put in the work. Oh, yeah. A lot of people was calling him out for that, saying that, you know, he doesn't really want to work like that. You know? He's used to making his money a certain type of way, and Fox Soul did most of the production, you know, of the TGIF show that they had. And if he gets with Claudia and Al again, and maybe they can get a TV deal, he can get that money and still do his own personal YouTube video. So he wants that check back, okay? I think he wants the check back more than he wants Claudia back. But honey, I'll let them believe what they want to believe. Another person says the band is not getting back together again. Another person says, I think Funky gave a masterclass on how to drive an interview in the right direction. Things could have gone wrong from that negative question, but he was professional about it. Seems like he is in a better place. Another person says, I don't think anyone is going to hire him. He just said he don't like to work. He complains too much. Another person says, Claudia would be a fool to work with either Funky or Al again. The way she got all the backlash and got dragged, yeah, Claudia was blamed. Let's not forget Funky himself blamed Claudia. She keeps it cordial, but move on. She should have never put Funky or Al on. Should have been another Cocktails with Queens. Funky thinks he's better than her, and women should let him get it. I guess they're saying let him get it for himself, honey. Another person says Funky didn't want Claudia to answer the alleged betrayal because she didn't betray him. He would have said it a long time ago. He dragged her, and his audience did the same for no reason. Another person says Funky has a lot of double talk and a lot of contradictions. He's saying that he's not bigger than the show, but at the same time he wants money because he knows what he contributes to the show. Who in the hell cares if he do not get a raise for sitting on his ass on camera and shooting the shit? I think he just sabotages his show, and he's highly manipulative, and he's toxic to deal with. Not only that, he began to do his show at the same time that the Fox Soul show would come on. Yeah, he did that. He did it. He admitted it on the Carlos King interview. Another person says at this point, I think it's obvious that Al was the puppet master. Claudia and Armand have said it, and Funky didn't crash out on Claudia until someone got in his ear. Cough, cough. I think Claudia is entertaining this back and forth with Funky because she wants desperately for Funky to realize that Al was the manipulator and the problem and not her. But I think she needs to just make peace with it and move on because Funky is just as toxic as Al. Do y'all agree with that? Claudia and Armand are cool with each other, and Funky and Al deserve each other. What do y'all think? Another person says, I love Claudia. She is smart, talented, funny, gorgeous, and egoless, which makes her so humane. That's why she will always win. I love Funky too, but it is clear to me that Funky has a severe ego and control issues, and it's very clear in this interview as he is trying to control the narrative by not really wanting to talk about the issues. You can tell he likes to sweep things under the rug. And though Funky just wants to move on, it's obvious and smart that Claudia needs to talk it through. And she is definitely the one owed an apology. It is so obvious that Al was the culprit and he was manipulating Funky's feelings on Claudia, just like he tried to do the same thing with Armand. And I think Funky has now found out some of the lies and manipulation Al had done, because out of the three of them, Al was the least talented and the most insecure. And that's what will always make him dangerous. Yep. All right, you guys, that's all I have to say about that. And I will check you guys out in the next video.